Off, thank you. Off, thank you.
Yes, Ms.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Before we conclude on this matter, just to report back to Commissioner Baloyi on this matter, just to report back to discussion with the witness regarding the question posed by. I've had a discussion with the Commissioner Baloyi regarding the question posed by Commissioner Baloyi. As I understand it, the witness can. As I understand it, the commissioners. Witness can only inform the commissioners as to whether or not that is a function of misinterpretation of the SOP. That is a function of misinterpretation of the SOP. You know, requires a matter that of the SOP. You know, but requires generally that the SOP. They await the conclusion of all investigations. They await and then simultaneous all investigations. The negative report or positive report, as the case may be. Negative report or positive report, as the case may be. And the memorandum to witness testified, I think, earlier. As the he appreciates the difficulties testified, I think, earlier. He appreciates the difficulties even we had, but it is stated and the logic behind how it's done. But it is stated that I propose therefore that we stand down the issue. I propose therefore that we stand down the issue. Mr. We have noted it, and upon his return, with reference to the SOP and any other. With reference to the SOP and any other will direct us as to whether that's how it's intended to be done. Then we can engage whether that's how it's intended to be done. Changes must be effected to the SOP. Or whether it's not required by the SOP, it's just a misinterpretation. It's not required by the SOP, it's just a misinterpretation. Undertake these investigations. By the investigators as they undertake these investigations. If that would be acceptable to Commissioner Baloyi. If that would be acceptable to Commissioner Baloyi.
To the chair, that's right.
Well, the question was yours, ma'am, so, and the chair, of course. Well, the question was yours, ma'am, so, and the chair, of course.
I'm happy with that.
That is the...
I'm happy with that.
No, I just needed to report back on the question that we'd said. No, I just needed to report back on the question that we'd said. We'll come back to you after tea. You remember, Mr. Magagula, that before we broke for tea, you remember, Mr. Magagula, we had run ahead before we broke for tea. Statement to page 85. We had run ahead in where you make the point that in truth, where you make the point that in truth, the institutions are page 85. Page 19, where you make the point that in truth the institutions, where you make the point that in truth the institutions do not have to await a decision to determine for themselves whether to invoke their internal mechanisms, whether to start disciplinary internal mechanisms, to start disciplinary. We had just run ahead. Now we need to go back to where we were and find our place. We had just run ahead. Now we need to go back to where we were and find our testimony from and take up. And for that purpose, testimony from I would like us to go back to page 11. I would like us to go back to page 11 and. At page 11 from paragraph 43, you deal with page the 11 from paragraph 43, you deal with the commissioners of the case. I know that the commissioners regarding the status of the case, but I don't think regarding the status of the case. But I don't think it has been formally put on record the status of this case. Read into the record the status of this case. Thank you. And then we'll move
current status of the case.
Thank you.
The case is still under investigation. The case. I'm trying the case is still under investigation. I'm trying to obtain a statement of the owner of the goods. I'm struggling to locate the owner of the goods as we have struggling to locate the owner of the goods as we have so far not been able. Although the owner of the plot is available, that is scared of the police a statement that is scared of the police as they were the perpetrators of the crime.
Thank you. Now we are ready to move off this case. Thank you. Now we are ready to move off this case.
It may be again, let me ask it may be again that will be canvassed with something that will be canvassed with, but I would like to hear the witnesses' but I would like to now hear the witnesses' view of it. Now, statement. She explains how she gets involved. Statement. She explains how she gets information from an informant. She says she got information from an informant that there was stolen property or plot at a certain place or plot. That seems to me to be a matter to be ordinarily a matter handled by ordinarily would be handled by not the municipal police. I don't recall municipal police. I don't what the evidence was about the power on this kind of what the evidence was about the MPS. On this kind of issue about the powers of MPS. What is in fact the powers of the MPS when it comes to matters which are not powers of the MPS when it comes to matters which are not municipal matters. But municipal matters, criminal conduct that seem ordinarily criminal conduct that seem ordinarily. Are you able to comment on that? Are you able to
comment on this? If to comment on this question correctly. Understand the members of EMPD. Members of they have the EMPD. Same powers. They have the SAPS, but they do not have investigative powers. But they do not have investigative powers that we investigate this. If they receive such information that there is stolen, they receive such information that there is stolen, they have a right to go there and seize the property. They have a right to go there and seize the property and arrest. And they must register the case. And they must register the case where they found those things. You cannot find things where in Patfontein and decide things. You cannot find things in Patfontein and decide to open a case. So everything, it is where you found the property. It is where you found police station must be used. The relevant police station must be used.
Is your answer that? Okay. So is your answer that nothing wrong with that? There is nothing wrong information from an informant, and she says information from an informant, and then she says an informant called her, and then she proceeded. Assume everything was legitimately. Then let's assume everything was legitimately. Then let's assume according to procedure done legitimately. There would be nothing wrong according to with an informant. There would be nothing wrong with an informant telling stalls there's stolen goods at this property, and then starts arresting to that taking possession of the property, and then going to record it. Possession of the property, and then going to record it in accordance with procedures. You're saying there would be nothing wrong with that. It falls within procedures. You're saying there would be nothing wrong with that. It falls within their mandate.
Yes, there is nothing wrong with that.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi.
Thanks, Ms.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Magagula, I think then we are ready to move to our next case. I think then we are ready to move to our next case, which starts at your page 12. This is Benoni Khas 215/07/2022, and it starts at your paragraph 46. And it starts at your paragraph 46.
Yes, it's correct.
Is that correct? If you can then talk to this case. If you can then talk to this case, 42, starting at paragraph 42.
Benoni case 215.
Apologies, 46.
Benoni case 215.
Apologies, 46. Paragraph 46.
Benoni case 215 of 7/2022. Benoni case 215 of 7/2022 case. This is a kidnapping and corruption case. The docket is attached as Annexa. The complainant alleged that on 6 July, at approximately 11:45, he was at his workplace with 11:45. He was at his workplace. His employer was not friend of his employer, as he had gone. His employer was not present, as he had two male EMPD officer and one female EMPD officer and one female. The officers asked the complainant about this employer's whereabouts. The officers asked the complainant about this employer was not around. And he informed them. The police then began searching the shop, and the police allegedly then began searching the shop, large quantity of cigarettes, placing them on the ground. They inquired about the invoice. They inquired about the complainant for the cigarette, explained that the invoice was with his employer. Explained that the EMPD officers with his employer. The EMPD officers to the cigarette into 4 large boxes, the cigarette into 4 large China bag, and one this China bag is usually. This China bag is usually Mashangani bag. Refer to Mashangani bag. The employer's friend was instructed to leave. The employer's friend was instructed to leave The employer's friend was instructed to leave, and the employer's friend was instructed to leave. During the incident, one of the officers. During the incident, one belonging to the complainant took a cell phone belonging to the EMPD officers also disconnected. The EMPD officers also disconnected and instructed the complainant to close the camera and instructed the complainant to close the shop. To board a police vehicle. They ordered the complainant by to board a police vehicle driven. The cigarette were loaded into another vehicle. The cigarette were loaded into another vehicle driven by the female. The information of it. The information has been obtained, such as witness statement, has been obtained, such as witness statement, photo album, as well as the suspect photo album, as well as the suspect. The matter was discussed with the public prosecutor. The matter was discussed with the collected and the prosecutor based on the evidence. The alleged collected and the prosecutor directed that the alleged suspect should be arrested. The arrest was effected on the 10th March. Arrest was effected 2023. On the 10th and the accused appeared before 2023. And the accused appeared before court March 20. Their first appearance on the matter was reminded on various court dates. The matter was reminded on various court dates and until the case reached trial stage. The 18th February 2025. The 18 February 2025 and on 18 March 2025 and the matter was provisionally withdrawn. The matter was provisionally withdrawn to the complainants not showing interest on the matter. All not showing court appearance on the matter. All on court appearance are recorded too.
If you could stop there, and perhaps let's have regard to annexure TLM2, and perhaps let's have regard to annexure TLM2. The annexure file that we're looking at file, the annexure file that we're looking at, and it starts, TLM2 starts from page 93. And it starts, TLM2 starts from page 93.
TL2. Yes.
Page 93. And you will see that just before page 93, and you will see that just before page 93, there is a page, and onto that page, a flag is attached. And onto that page, a flag is attached. You see that? Just before page 93, the page before 93, just before page 93, the page before 93. Now, if you look at that flag, you'll see it's got a number. Now, if you look at that flag, you'll see it's got a number. We read TNL2. So that's how we read. So this is what you suggest is TLM. So this is what you suggest is TLM. And that is the case docket in the. And that is the case docket, the case that we are discussing currently. In the case that we are discussing. Once again, before we deal with the detail we deal with the detail of this matter, I think commissioners rearrange the pages. We need to rearrange the pages. If you go to page 231, that should be the forensic science laboratory report. That should be the forensic science laboratory report. And the commissioners will see from. And the commissioners will see from then followed by page 2. That it's then followed by page 2. Some pictures, some extracted by the laboratory. Extracted by. However, if you go back to page 211, you come across page 211, but not attached to this particular document. These documents belong to the report from page 232. So the commissioners would have to remove them from their current place and to bring them here. The numbering will be a bit out because when the copies were ran from the docket, that's where the pictures were positioned. When one considers the actual report, starting at page 226, the laboratory report, and in particular from page 227 at the bottom, there is a long list of these photographs that are listed there. But the photographs that immediately follow are fewer, and the other photographs seem to be, misfiled at page 165 to page 211. So if you could just the commissioners would we will come back, we'll come and readjust your
rather take us to whichever you want to take us to. Sorting out that, we'll leave that to you.
Okay.
Yes.
We then, Mr. Magagula, do you confirm that my interpretation of the docket is correct?
Yes.
Right, okay. We will make the necessary changes to the commissioner's files. You indicate that in this matter, I think best if we go to the second set of pictures, because I think it speaks more to what you have just said. And for this, I'll refer you to page 232. Page 232 and following. And you stated that from these pictures, the specific members of EMPD can be seen in the shop of the complainant.
Yes.
So they are currently being projected, and we'll just scroll through them. Do you confirm that these are the members of EMPD who undertook this quote-unquote operation?
Yes.
I note from your statement, you say that the investigation was completed and that the matter is currently in court. What I could not locate is your IPID report to EMPD to initiate the internal investigations for disciplinary purposes. It's not in the docket. Do you confirm it's not?
I confirm.
Was it ever filed with EMPD?
It was not filed.
And the reason for that being?
The reason for this matter it was not completed through decision. It was completed as an arrest. So when we arrest, from the word go, when we arrest, we are not making any recommendation to the DPP and the EMPD. As a result, you will find out those reports are not there. So in this one, when I make a straight arrest, the person who will be responsible for making the recommendation, it will be the senior public prosecutor to the director of public prosecution, because each and every case where a member of South African police or EMPD is arrested, the docket has to go to the DPP. So at that stage, the person who does that recommendation, it will be the senior public prosecutor.
So how do you suggest the EMPD gets to learn that it should initiate internal investigations against these members?
As I said, in this matter, we communicate with EMPD. EMPD, on this matter, they were aware of it when I effected an arrest. I effected an arrest in the boardroom of Mr. Rivospis. He was present. Even when I was at court during bail application, there was a communication between him and me, because it was the same day when Yako Hanekom was killed, because it's when I received call that Yako has been killed, and I was at court. He even sent me certain video of court gathering, some of the people who were in court, sent by Mr. Rivo to me. He was not there. So someone took pictures, a video footage in court and sent it to Mr. Spies, and Mr. Spies did send it to me. So he was aware of this incident, what was happening in this incident.
I want to ask, you say where you effect an arrest and the senior prosecutor makes a recommendation to prosecute, you don't do your normal IPID investigation and a recommendation. Is that because of the standard operating procedure, or is that a decision that you make on your own?
It is the standard operating procedure. If we effect an arrest, when I come back with the docket, that system that I was talking about, we must feed it. It will ask you, it was an arrest, or immediately when I click arrest, it will say this matter is completed on the system. That system is called flow-centric.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Khumalo. Now, did you share with the EMPD any parts of this docket which would provide the facts necessary for them to initiate the investigation? And if so, when did you share that information and how? Besides you arresting them in the presence of Commissioner Spies and other senior personnel?
I shared the copies through that mutual understanding because they asked for it and we give them. I want to be clear, I did not make them to sign for it in any documentation that they received this. I didn't do that, but I gave it to them, Ms. Motsepe.
So when you say you gave it to them, is it the contents of the docket in its entirety or some documents from the docket?
The contents of the docket.
And you gave that to Ms. Motsepe?
Yes.
Now, this matter, as I understand it, arose in July 2022, and I think the arrests were on the 10th of March 2023. We are now in 2026. Can you recall when you gave Ms. Motsepe this docket?
In 2023.
In 2023?
Yeah. Immediately when incident happened is when they come knocking to our doors and we provide. When there is new development,
yes,
whether it's a video footage or she will ask us to provide them with that video footage. If it is in forensic, I will inform her that the video footage is still in forensic, I can provide. If I have a working copy, I'll provide a working copy.
And just perhaps lastly, for the record, are you aware of a complaint from EMPD or any of its senior managers that the EMPD does not have information regarding this matter and therefore are not in a position to take steps against their members? Are you aware of such a complaint to IPID?
I'm aware because I heard, but when you look at it, when I effected arrest, they were present. So I do not know if they say that they are not aware whilst I effected that arrest in their own offices. I wonder what they are meaning.
And I think Commissioner Spies did testify to the fact that they were arrested in the boardroom in his personal presence, at least. He was there. So are you suggesting that that was at least sufficient for EMPD to take an initiative to establish why it is they are being arrested and to seek such information as they require to take disciplinary action?
Yes.
Okay. You had dealt with your paragraph 51 and you had informed us that this matter now is provisionally withdrawn from the court roll.
Sorry, Ms.
Yes.
These pictures, I mean, there are names of people that are in the statement of the implicated person. You projected photographs. Is Mr. Magagula able to say to us who are those people in those pictures? You can project any of them, but I think of interest is the three people that are implicated.
The first picture there,
There's a screen closer to you.
I see Keisha Listors.
Okay, we'll try to move on to the next.
There's
Are
a-
you just before that? Are you referring? There's somebody in a T-shirt with a star on the chest, and then there's somebody in uniform.
The one in uniform, I'm not clear who he is. I can see him, but with Keisha Listors, I can see it there.
Mr. Magagu, I don't understand. There are two people on the picture. There is a male in what appears to be a gray T-shirt, and to his right is a person who appears to be female, and that person seems to be wearing a uniform. Am I seeing properly? Is that what you also see?
Yeah, I can see two.
Okay, now of the two, please identify the one that you say is Ms. Stolz.
Is the white female wearing uniform?
Okay.
If I may be of assistance, maybe if you go to page 233, if we could project that, I think it might be a clearer picture if it's the same person.
Yeah, this is Keisha Listors in this picture.
Okay, thank you.
And I think we'll have to go to, I suggest, page 165. And following. I don't know if you can recognize the gentleman there.
This gentleman, I recognize him as Adrian Norman Mackenzie, and I see he's receiving a packet.
We can go forward. The next pictures also
Sorry,
have.
to try and help again. If
Yes,
you go to page 36, there seems to be a clearer picture. 236. Okay. Is Mr. Mackenzie in that picture?
Behind Keisha Listors is Adrian Norman Mackenzie.
Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Silla.
Thank you, ma'am. To go then to 165.
Sorry. 165.
Mr. Magagula, we are at 165, page 165. We will move on to page 167. I see there the person you identified as Mr. Mackenzie. Am I correct?
Yes.
And the person with his back to the camera wearing what looks like a black jacket. I see what appears to be EMPD on his back, his or her back. And please hold that thought if I move to page 169. There are two pictures there, and it would appear to be the same person, this time leaning over. And I think the letters EMPD are clearly visible. Do you see those?
Yeah, I saw those three individuals.
Do you know the person wearing this outfit marked EMPD?
Yes, this is Bafana Twala. This is the person who recorded, exhibited Benoni Police Station.
Ms. Sillo, aren't you able to find a picture that shows the person's face?
You could.
May I request
Should
2
we?
minutes?
Yes, let's adjourn. Let's adjourn.
Thank you, commissioners. Have recovered. The chair had inquired whether or not there is a better picture of the person in this clothing marked EMPD. When I looked through the pictures, and we can scroll through, consistently he seems to have his back.
If I may, maybe look at 239.
239.
Yeah, and see if it's the same person.
Mr. Magagula, you at 239?
Yes.
At 239 at the top, there are 3 people, one with their back to us, but there are 2 gentlemen who now appear to be wearing blue. Are you able to identify any one of them?
Yes, I can see Bafana.
Which one is Bafana of the 2?
Bafana Twala is the one who is facing towards us.
Is he the...
Yeah, the one with a little bit there, he has made his mouth like there is a moustache there.
So I see one seems to be looking at something in his hand, and the second one seems to be interacting directly with this third person and reaching out or handing them over something. Of the 2, which is Bafana? The one looking at whatever it is in...
The one stretching his hand with a gun holster in his leg.
That's Bafana.
Yeah, that is Bafana.
And Bafana's full name is?
It's Bafana Twala.
Bafana Twala. If then I can go further at 240 still. There is somebody either placing into a box or taking out of a box something. Who is that, and can you tell what they're doing?
This looks like Mackenzie, and then the items that he's putting inside the box, I see them as cigarettes.
And lastly then, if we go to page, we'll scroll quickly back to page 180. In fact, from page 179, there is a bag you described. And I understood you to say that they put the cigarettes in a particular bag, and you...
Yeah. This is the bag that I called it in English China bag. In our African language, Machangan bag.
Okay, if we go to page 180, I think we have a better picture. Is that the bag?
Yes, that is the bag.
Now, if we go further on, there are statements, I'm aware, in the docket that we don't necessarily have to. Some of those statements, and the complainant statement says they arrived, the EMPD members arrived and left in vehicles, and I think they describe them as golf vehicles. VW Golf?
Yes, they were driving onto vehicles.
And if we go to page 189 to your recollection and following, are these the vehicles that you say you understand them to have been driving?
Yeah.
And I think perhaps, lastly, it would be to page 193. And at 193, at the top picture, I see 2 people leaning against a white vehicle with a third next to an open back passenger door. Do you see that?
Yes, I see it.
Are you able to recognize the people in the picture?
Yeah, the people on the picture, because I arrested them, I'll say those 3 members that were searching the shop.
Please say that again.
I'll say the 3 members that I see here is consistent with the other evidence that they are the one who were responsible of searching and packing cigarettes into the boxes.
And this would be, there are 3 of them now.
Bafana Twala, Adrian Norman Mackenzie, and Keisha Lee Stalls.
Okay. Well, the following pictures, I think, are about more of the same with the vehicles at different points. At page 211,
Are these still shots taken from the CCTV footage?
Yes.
And at page 211, we see what appears to be the vehicles driving. Am I correct?
Yes.
And perhaps to Commissioner Kumalo's question, Commissioner Kumalo, at page 226 is the report of with the SAPS attached to the scientific analysis section of the Forensic Science Laboratory as a forensic analyst. And if you go to page 227, it lists at items 3.1 and 3.2 what was received by the laboratory. That's one SanDisk memory stick with a serial number and one DVD with a serial number. And then further down under paragraph 6, he or she then lists the photographs extracted from those clips there. Thank you. Mr. Magagula, then we go back to your page 13. And you had indicated that the matter has been provisionally withdrawn. Can you take your statement from paragraph 52?
Just before going to paragraph 52, there are the powers of subpoena. So I don't understand that a case that appears to be quite serious would be withdrawn because witnesses are not showing interest. Why can't the witnesses be subpoenaed?
I will answer this question like this. This matter was not before court only for that day which it was withdrawn. It was previously at court for trial before the provisional withdrawn. Because these witnesses, when I was given instruction to subpoena, I went to the witness to subpoena. He told me that he's not interested. At some stage, this case was prosecuted. The prosecutor that I was given, it was not the prosecutor from the regional court in Benoni. This matter was appearing in Benoni. This case was allocated an advocate from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution in the North Gauteng. So each and every time this case was appearing in Benoni, he was the one who was coming to come and prosecute it. So at some stage, because I failed to subpoena, because he doesn't want to sign my subpoena, and then I informed the court, and then they said that they are giving me an opportunity to re-subpoena him, to give him an ample time. On that day when we came out, I pleaded with my advocate because they told us that he went to Boxback to stock something. We went together with the advocate to look for him, and while phoning the victim, we looked for him, we did not find him there. We left. He said, Magagula, I'm giving you another opportunity for the 18. If he is not interested, you'll post a statement regarding your predicament. And then I was given time. There is an attachment of my subpoena, I went there. The complainant was very, very disrespectful. I found him. I spoke to him about the subpoena that is needed at court. He said that, Magagula, promise me that you're going to give me the remaining cigarettes that is in the SAP 13. You didn't give me. Now, I'm no longer interested in the matter. So the complainant was interested in what was remaining in the SAP 13. So, based on that, he was no longer interested. I wrote the statement as per instruction of the advocate that if he is not interested, you must depose a statement. The complainant till today, I'm sure, even though it has been a long time I have not gone to the shop, I believe he's still there.
So the long and short of what we are saying is that you did not serve the subpoena.
Yes, I did not serve him because he didn't want to. So in terms of forcing him through the court processes, that will be the duty of the advocate to instruct me that let us serve him with warrant or whatsoever.
See, if there is criminality, as it is suggested there is, it appears to be serious criminality.
Yes.
It involves police officers. I do not think that a matter should end just like that, just because a witness is refusing to accept a subpoena. I do not believe that IPID officers like you should leave matters at that just because a witness is refusing to accept a subpoena. Yes, complainants are crucial to criminal prosecution, but it's a criminal case which is at the hands of the state, which is why it will be state versus whoever, with criminal matters. So it's a public interest issue. It's not just about the complainant. And that is more so if it's a serious matter. It cannot just end just because a witness, because that's what a complainant is. Bottom line is they are a witness. So it cannot end just because a witness is not willing to accept a subpoena. Your comment?
I agree with you, Commissioner.
And again, I emphasize the fact that this involves police officers charged with criminality. It cannot end like that. Otherwise, our criminal justice system is imperiled. You wish to comment?
I agree with you. The only thing is to await the directives, because my powers end when I'm given a task to subpoena and I go and subpoena and bring the results. So if the NPA gives me directive, what is the way forward? I will embark on what they have told me, but currently I cannot say I will go and arrest the person because it's not complying with what the court wanted to be. So if the directive...
You would not arrest at that stage. You would have had to serve the subpoena and report to court on the next date of appearance that I have served a subpoena, and it would then be the court that directs what should happen. And of course, failure to comply with a subpoena may result in another criminal process. Comment?
My comment is that the commissioner says that my duty was to serve. I did that. I cannot.
You said you did not. Remember, you said you did not. I asked you, did you serve the subpoena? You said you did not.
When I said not, it's because the complainant did not sign it. When I say I did not serve, it is that the complainant did not sign, he refused. Yeah, so it was my meaning that I did not serve. If he signed, I have served it. If he refused, even though I was with him, I did not serve. There is no signature of him because he is refusing to sign the subpoena, is what I was saying.
Mr. Magagula, perhaps can you turn to page 242 of still Annex Chapter LM?
2 what?
242.
Thank you.
I find at page 242 an affidavit you deposed to. It would appear that you did so on the 18th of February 2025. And on a reading of that document, it would seem to suggest that it's talking to the issues that the chair is engaging you on. Perhaps if you look at that document and you remind yourself of the steps you have taken and what transpired on the dates that you referenced, particularly at paragraph 3 of that document. Might that help you? At paragraph 3, you say, on previous trial date to subpoena the victim, I found him in another shop, and I explained the purpose of my visit. The victim was disrespectful to me and said he's not interested. The present visit, which was on 2025-0204, the victim was cooperative and he informed me in a human manner that he's not interested anymore in the case. Do you see that?
Yes.
So do you confirm, that's your affidavit? Yes. I think it says, I, Tulani Magagula, state under oath.
Yes.
So does this reflect the steps you have taken thus far, at least until, as at February 4th, 2025, to secure the complainant's attendance?
Yes. I confirm, and it shows that the attempt was not only made once, it was made several times.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can I, it's a follow-up on the discussion with the chairperson, but from a slightly different perspective. As I've understood it, the Section 29 of the IPID Act, and I think it was sub 1G, if I'm not mistaken, which speaks to corruption. Firstly, there's the obligation, I think in Section 29, in 29 rather actually, I'm getting my sections wrong. Section 29 creates an obligation and it makes it an offense not to report something, right? Yeah. It's 28 that sets out the different misconduct or offenses that IPID has jurisdiction over. And I think 1G, 28.1G is the corruption cases, offenses. Now, it seems to me that the facts of this case is police corruption. I see you nod, you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. Which is different from a complainant who is complaining that they took his cigarettes. So we've got two different things. A complainant says they came and stole my cigarettes. EMPD and IPID say that act of stealing, we deal with it, it constitutes an act of corruption. You've got the photographs, you've got the statement of now a reluctant witness who tells you what happened. And then you've got evidence that we've gone through now, which places the 3 officers on the scene. You see them packing things into boxes, and I think you tell us in the statement, in your statement at paragraph 52, that 52.1, the EMPD members made an entry in the exhibit register citing that the exhibit was found as abandoned. However, the investigation revealed that the exhibits were seized from the store and the owner is known to them. So you, IPID, know they are lying when they say that, when they say it was abandoned material or abandoned goods, because there's investigation has revealed that. And then in 52.3, you say the photo album shows that they seized more than 2 boxes of cigarettes while they only booked 2. So there you do have evidence of criminal conduct, of corruption, if you like, because of the entries that they have made. I don't understand how the prosecution of these people on the charge of corruption cannot proceed, even with a reluctant witness, because the complainant, as I understand it, on such a corruption case would be the EMPD or would be IPID, and why that objective evidence is not sufficient, at least to create a case that the three accused should be called upon to answer in a criminal matter. Why is that so? I understand the bits about a witness not being there and the prosecutor saying without the witness we are in trouble, but these for me appear to be instances where a case of corruption can be prosecuted if IPID pushes it, that they should be prosecuted for corruption, and your witnesses are EMPD and his records, or Mr. Magagula and his records. Why is that not done or not doable?
Such decision lies with the prosecuting authority, because they have all these facts. IPID are not the one that decide that this matter must continue, even if we will wish to do so. But the prosecuting authority is the one to formulate the charges. This is one of many dockets where criminal charges are being withdrawn, even if we are not happy. So that decision of prosecuting without the witness lies with them. There was another case, a simple case because it was shown in media also. It was corruption. The police were seen loading copper. We arrested those police officers, and then it was 2 of them. We investigated, finalized, and then it reached that stage of trial, and then came the time for subpoena. We tried to locate the address of the witness. Now the witness was running away from us. At some stage he was picking his phone until he did not pick his phone. And we had the DPP did not immediately, like in this case also, did not immediately withdraw the case. They said, make effort. At the end of the day, we didn't find the complainant, and then it was withdrawn. So without the victim, the powers lies with the prosecuting authority. So we as IPID, we cannot say.
Does the IPID engage, and not on a case-by-case basis, but as a going activity, engage with the NDPP, if not NDPP, whatever appropriate structure that deals with prosecutions, to deal with these kind of cases? Because to me, a civilian, it doesn't make sense that just because the complainant to a case of theft has disappeared, police cannot be, EMPD members are not charged for corruption when there is objective evidence of that constitutes a criminal offense, right? Is there a process where you engage? And I want to give you context of it, that we've had evidence, for example, about KZN, political killings, that there were complaints about matters being withdrawn, and the police were complaining that the prosecution withdraws cases on the basis that there isn't enough evidence to proceed with prosecution. And the police believe we have given you sufficient, and as a result, a forum was set up where now they engage with each other, and they go to a point where now there's a proper understanding of what is possible, what is doable, why certain things are not happening. It seems to me that it should be the kind of things that are addressed, not on a case-by-case basis, but as, if you like, operating procedures or memoranda that, there are cases that are complainant dependent, but there are cases that are not complainant from the same facts. Some charges are not complainant dependent, and surely they should be prosecuted. And there could not be an excuse why Stolz has ended up resigning without being charged for something like this, for corruption, in fact. Is there a forum where the prosecution and the IPID engage with each other about matters and problems and how to improve prosecution rates and?
Yes, there is such meetings where IPID engage with NPA.
What is that engagement? I mean, maybe you're not the one to speak to it. If you say to us, Mr. Kefelakai is better placed, or even the executive director of IPID, if you say to us, that's the person that is better placed to speak to this, I'm happy to leave it.
Yeah, in our province, I would say Mr. Ndlovu is better placed to speak to this because he is the one who is attending such meeting with NPA.
And what is Mr. Ndlovu's position?
Deputy Director.
For Gauteng?
Yeah, his full name is Sandile Ndlovu.
All right.
He attend the meeting, I'm sure it's monthly, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right. So he would be able to say what those engagements are about, and whether, and from him we'll know whether these kind of matters that we are raising get addressed, or that I'm raising.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Law, our list is growing. Remember, I think we started with Mr. Kefelakai, and then
Yes.
Ms. Masuku, and now...
No, Ms. Masuku was the witness yesterday.
Yes, and today I don't think this is the first subject. Can you please...
Yes, we are keeping a running
keep
list,
a running
Chair.
list of all these, and yeah.
Matters to be referred to their seniors for engagement with the
For
Commission.
full, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Thank you.
We shall, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Staying then with this matter, I just want to deal with two things before we finish here. Please go to page 220 of Annexure TLM2, the same file. 220, it's top right corner in red. That is a document bearing Benoni cast number 215/07/2022, and it's just headed memorandum. What is this document? Who's the author of this document? Well, it provides a summary of the case. I just wanted perhaps to know
it is the summary,
who compiled it.
Yeah, of the case, and it was compiled by...
Because just to assist, at page 222 at the end, the last entry is comments. SPP for your recommendation, please. Are you able to help us identify what the document is and who authored it?
Warrant Officer Ben.
Warrant Officer Ben?
Yes.
Was that the investigating officer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and thank you for that. I see from this document, in particular, I'd like to refer you to page 221, item 9. And at item 9 is a summary of what would appear to be Constable Mackenzie's statement, as was obtained in this matter. I'm going to read a few lines to you, and I'm going to pose a question, and I don't know if you have the answer, because I don't know these matters. Constable Mackenzie, in brackets A9, will state that he was on duty when he, Constable Stolz, and Constable Twala visited the supermarket. Inside, they found one Indian and one African male. They requested documentation authorizing the trade of cigarettes, but was told that the manager was not there and available to come to the shop either. Now, this is from a police officer. Can you tell us more about the documentation authorizing the trade of cigarettes? I personally am not aware of it. What documentation could they potentially have been looking for? Do you know?
They will be looking for the invoice of cigarette inside the where did they buy the cigarette?
Why does that become a police matter and how? If you know.
This one I do not know, but what I can say, the cigarettes that was inside the shop, it was lawfully inside the shop because the owner bought that cigarette.
Are you, in your experience, would this conduct where EMPD officials take the initiative to go into a random shop and ask for proof of ownership of the cigarettes or any other stock in the shop? Is that lawful in your view?
It is not lawful. Those things is in municipality. I don't know that unit. There are those people dedicated to go and check the shops if they are compliant. For instance, it is a shop where they sell food. There are certificates that are being given by the municipality, and there will be a tax certificate from SARS. So it is not the duties of the EMPD to do such things.
Thank you. And on that statement, I see you advise that it was authored by Warrant Officer Ben. At page 222, at item 18.
Just to close off the point you just made. In essence, this was a search and seizure. And the default position with regards to searches and seizures is to have a warrant, a search warrant, search and seizure warrant. And the exception is if you reasonably believe that by first going to obtain a search and seizure warrant, the purpose of the search and seizure warrant may well be defeated. Yeah. So you search and seize immediately. But now you have cigarettes, they are the stock in the shop, and what reasonable belief could there have been that these cigarettes would suddenly disappear and that you cannot first obtain a search and seizure warrant before you search for and you then seize them. I guess the point I'm making ties in with what Ms. Sillo has just made, and indeed with a point that Commissioner Baloyi made much earlier. Commissioner Baloyi's point being, oh gosh, I forget what it was now. But point is, it was, why did the NPA not prosecute? There was objective material for it to prosecute. For example, why I say what I've just said ties in with that point by Commissioner Baloyi is, here you have police officers, they just pop in, they search and seize, no warrant of arrest, or no search and seizure warrant, in circumstances where there was no reason for them not to first go and get a search and seizure warrant. So there are, as Commissioner Baloyi said, objective facts that appear to be sufficient to ground a prosecution. Again, I guess it's not criticizing you, it's more the issue of the NPA.
Thank you, Chair. I'd referred us to page 222, and because you had informed us that the author of the document is Warrant Officer Ben. At item 18, there's just an entry I/O, that investigating officer statement by DWO Ben A18. So that is the Ben you say is the author of this
Yes.
document. Thank you. And I guess on this file, lastly, if you turn to page 249. This is a handwritten document. At the bottom, I think it's dated 2023/05, but it doesn't give me an actual date. It appears on its face to be by Brigadier Julius Dr. Mkwanazi, who sets out his ID number, employed by the city of Ekurhuleni as the Metropolitan Police Director at EMPD. Can you explain what this document is? It doesn't have a covering page.
This document is called the Commander Statement. Commander Statement, duty on, duty off statement to confirm that these members that are subject of investigation are working in his unit and they were on duty on the day of the incident.
Now, I'll come back to this question. So just to place on record what then Brigadier Mkwanazi tells us. He says, and I quote, "One would like to confirm that Officer Bafana Twala, Officer Adrian Mackenzie were on duty with Officer Kisha Stalls doing crime prevention in Ekurhuleni on the 6th of July 2022, working at Binoni area." That's the second paragraph I'm reading. And the final paragraph states, "I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day." And then it's signed and has got a number, I guess it's his service number. So you say this is a commander statement.
Yes.
He confirms that they were on duty.
Yes, he confirms.
But it doesn't tell you whether or not they were engaged in a lawful operation that is registered within the EMPD.
Yes, it doesn't tell
How
you.
do you establish that that was the fact, that they were actually undertaking a lawful operation as instructed by their commander or in terms of EMPD legislation, related legislation?
In this statement, he never told us anything about the operation, if it is lawful or it was unlawful. But the purpose of the duty on, duty off statement is to also touch on that.
Now, I think this is the second statement we see from Brigadier Mkwanazi. And I think his commander statements are famous for brevity. We dealt with a document called SAP 299. You recall, it was an official form.
Yes.
That then has to be completed. We have in the files an SAP 13 that you have referred to. And once again, that is an official document that poses certain questions that must be responded to. Is there a document that prescribes how a duty on, duty off report by a commander should be and what information he shall provide? Or is it up to every commander to decide what information to provide?
There is no such document to state what the commander must state in his statement.
Now, you as an investigating officer for IPID, when you receive a document such as this, which simply tells you that they were on duty on the specific date, and then the commander says, "I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day," and that's it. What value is this document to you, to your investigations?
This document, the value of it, it will show me that, okay, these members is to confirm that indeed they are EMPD members, and then they were on duty or off duty. On duty and off duty, it will show me if they acted on their own initiative whilst not on duty. So in this scenario, Julius Mkwanazi is telling me that these people were on duty, so he is tying himself that they were on duty. So the predicament with EMPD is that they have no official register to check that indeed this person on this day was on official duty. In SAPS, we found those registers as SAP 15 is an official register. You can't throw it away. When you feel it, it will be filed that this member on this day was on duty. Even if you come after 3 years, that no man, you committed a crime somewhere in Nelspruit, we want to check that you were on duty on that day. So this one of EMPD, you will get that statement on that specific day when you approach them. I want to see if this member was on duty and through the car, did he book the car, the official car on that day? So you'll get you'll got those answers from those registers like but they do not have, their things are not, there is no logic. Like stalls can simply wake up 12 o'clock midnight and go and do your duties. Tomorrow, when something has happened, we come to Julius to say, can you tell us, do you know this member? Is it your member? You'll say, it's my member. Was she on duty? 12 o'clock midnight, Julius will write 3 sentences and say, she's my member. She was on duty. I'm aware she was working in the area of Cape Town Park. So the EMP, how they work, most especially in specialized unit, you can. It seems as if you just do the job willy-nilly. You can wake up 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I don't know how they work. There is no order. Basically, what I'm meaning, there is no order.
If I can follow up on that, what power do you have to compel somebody like Brigadier Mkwanazi as commander to provide more detail than I was informed as the supervisor about crime prevention duties of the day? I was informed by who? Do you have any powers?
To provide more detail, yes.
To compel him to provide more details?
Yes.
Or are you forced to accept the report as he chooses to write it with this bare minimum?
No, we do have more power. We do have power to ask him to answer whatever we want, unless if he himself is a suspect, because we must respect his constitutional right. But in terms of him not being a suspect, he must answer to what we are looking for.
Then, if we go back to the questions posed to you by Commissioner Baloyi and the chair, this is a clear case of corruption. You, as the investigator, are provided with this word salad that Brigadier Mkwanazi puts forward as a commander statement. What steps did you take to ensure that he provides you with appropriate details to be able to either support the criminal charges to be leveled against these members or the ongoing criminal case? A reading of that document just tells you it is absolutely useless. You say you have the power to compel him to provide more. Did you in this case? If not, why not?
I did not compel him to give more more details. At that time when I took it, what I'm looking for, maybe I overlooked more details, but at that time, my question to him, it was to state that these members are EMPD members, and then they were on duty on the day of the incident. Now you have clarified me with more details that you were supposed to look at this. At that stage, I was not clued up to look for more regarding his own statement. So I accepted this.
Okay. Thank you for that. Yes, Commissioner Baloyi.
Yeah. Isn't this some of the areas of improvement that you should be, especially because you've got the experience with the SAPS?
Yes.
You know how the SAPS does things. You've told us there's a record. You can go back 5 years and you will find the full record of a member's deployment or operation. Assuming they didn't lose their pocketbook, but SAPS has got its own records.
Yeah.
Surely from experience, you should be to make your job easy, but for accountability too, for individual officers' accountability, these are areas where you should be proposing improvements because it affects how you do your work. It affects the kind of information, the quality of information that you get, and so you should be, without even prompting by the commission. I'm surprised that up to now, IPID has not said to MPS that you need to introduce these kind of records, because for purposes of our investigations and whatever recommendations we make, it is necessary for us to get that kind of information, and it must be in a formal form. Maybe it's because you guys are overloaded with work. We're asking you because I have the benefit of sitting outside, but perhaps there should be reflections on what should you be requiring in order to improve the quality of your work. Do you accept that would be of assistance?
Yes, I agree with you, Commissioner. That are areas of improvement, more especially with these units, because members working at the units, they do as they wish because maybe their commanders have given them that leverage. But those that work certain hours that you work, your office, you report on duty 2 days night shift. Those one we can follow up the record, because we know that Monday, Tuesday, this member is working day shift. The Wednesday, Thursday is working night shift, and then it's off. So this specialized unit will never know. Somebody decide to work 1 o'clock and raid a Pakistani shop. There is no logic there, and then the commander will always support that. I'm aware of that member. So it is what must be when we engage with EMPD, and then they must improve on those areas.
I think because it has to be the scariest and most concerning thing to know that I could meet up with an EMPD officer, and I have a bad experience with them with serious consequences, and there's no record. There can never be a record cannot be found of that person having been on duty. I would say it's something that IPID should be concerned about.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Ms. Sillo, we derailed you a long time ago. You were taking the witness to paragraph 52.
Yes, I was, and it was, which is where I wanted him to what I wanted him to deal with. However, the issues I've since addressed
All right.
are issues I would have addressed after 52.
All right.
So I've taken care of that part of things
Thank
to
you.
follow up on the questions that the commissioners have posed. So now we're back at paragraph 52, page 13. Then if you could just finalize on this particular case what you say starting at paragraph 52.
This provisional withdrawal happened in spite of the state able to prove the following facts. The EMPD members made an entry in the exhibit register citing that the exhibit was found as abandoned. However, the investigation revealed that the exhibit was seized from the store and the owner is known to them. According to EMPD members, the suspect escaped from their custody and yet they failed to open a case of escaping from lawful custody. The photo album shows that they seized more than 2 boxes of cigarettes while they only booked 2. These are matters that can still be pursued against these members departmentally. Current status of the case: the matter remains provisionally withdrawn. The complainant was not willing to be a witness against the police officer. 2 other witnesses, both of whom are foreigners, Malawian and Bangladesh citizens, have already left the country. These are the victims of victim of kidnapping and another person who witnessed the action of the police on the day respectively, after providing us with statement.
And you have a last point at paragraph 55?
It can only be re-enrolled if the complainant is willing to testify. I continue to make efforts to persuade him.
Thank you. Commissioners, unless there are further questions on this particular case, that would then conclude the Benoni case.
I think, Ms. Silo, earlier on with the witness, you asked him a question about whether the EMPD, in fact, I think you said EMPD have said they don't have information about this case. Am I?
No, I had inquired whether or not IPID had filed a report, like a negative report to EMPD to enable them to initiate disciplinary processes.
Yes. Okay, maybe let me ask my question. Anyway, I think you said in response to that line of discussion about whether a report was filed and EMPD knowing about this case, that you have provided them with documents. Are you able, as you sit there, to say what kind of documents and you provided them? And I ask because you say here that departmental action, notwithstanding the problem with the criminal prosecution, the department, and when you say department, I take it you mean EMPD, can act on this matter. Is that, when you say department, who are you referring to here?
Yeah, departmentally it can be pursued successfully because we have, without even using the witnesses.
Yes.
Based on the facts of the registers.
Yes.
And the escape of, it is them who is telling us in their statement that this suspect of them of cigarettes escaped from them.
Yes.
So if a suspect escape, you have a duty to open a case of escaping from lawful custody. So their employer can ask why you didn't open a case of escaping. The victim in his statement has stated that at some stage when they were traveling to Benoni, he was told to give them something, and then so that they can leave him, and he gave them an amount of 200, and they said, you must go. Yes. But when they wrote their statement, they changed the scenario as if he escaped.
Yes, I guess what I'm asking is what you have in 52.1, 52.2, 52.3, which is what I referred to earlier, that all of that seems prosecutable criminally, and is not reliant on the complainant. What you've listed there, 52, 1, 2, 3, is that material that you have given to the EMPD, or that you have a way of knowing that they are in possession of, including the photographs that we looked at?
Yes, this they have.
They have what we have here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, thank you. I'm answered.
And just perhaps to follow up on that, earlier I'd understood you to say that you had given the entire docket to Ms. Binel, you said?
Binel
within
Mutsi.
the integrity and standards unit.
Yes.
Was that your testimony?
Yes.
So for the commission to establish the extent to which EMPD was aware of what transpired in this matter, Ms. Binel, or at least Mr. Erasmus, should be able to advise the commissioners accordingly.
Yes.
Is that your testimony?
Yes.
You're saying we should turn to Mr. Erasmus and we'll get our answer?
Yes, and through annexes which I have, I'm sure we are still going to go through
Yes.
this to prove that I have given them the copies.
Okay.
I had made a note, Ms. Sillo, that she gave the docket to EMPD, she gave it to Ms. Mutsepe in 2023.
Yes, that is in TLM 11 and 12, I think, yes.
Let us adjourn and resume at 2 p.m. Let's adjourn.
Thank you, Chair.
Right, we need a few seconds. We are ready to start. Please switch off your cell phones. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Magagula, if you could switch on your microphones. And if you could open your witness statement again. We now are at page 14, and we are dealing with the third case. That third case at page 14, starting from paragraph 56, you say it's the Hillbrow CAS 797/03/2023.
Yes.
I think you set out the facts regarding this case. So if you could just briefly summarize what they are and what happened, starting from paragraph 56.
This is a case of corruption and impersonating of a police officer and involves the theft of precious stone from a citizen. I attached the docket of the case marked TLM3.
Apologies, Mr. Magagula. The docket that you say it's marked TLM3, we might as well have it open. Please open your second file. It's marked 2 of 3. That file we're working with before lunch. And your annexure TLM3 starts at page 249. At 250, my apologies. This file.
Is TLM?
TLM3. Top right corner, and marked in red, 250, the page number. Have you located it?
Yes.
Please keep it open. We will be referring to some parts of that docket. You may then proceed from your paragraph 57.
This is a case of corruption and impersonating of a police officer and involves the theft of precious stone from a citizen. I attached the docket of this case marked TLM3. The complainant alleges that on 11 February 2023, at approximately 8 o'clock, 2 male and 1 female individuals arrived at this residential premises and identified themselves as officers of the EMPD. Of these 3 individuals, 2 were attired in official uniform, while the 3rd was in civilian clothing. At that time, the complainant was in the company of his partner, who was able to photograph the officers without their knowledge. The female officer, who has been identified as Constable Stalls of EMPD, informed the complainant that he was under investigation for the alleged smuggling of lithium and expressed their intention to conduct a search of the premise. The complainant requested to be shown a valid search warrant. The officers, the second has been identified as Constable A. Mackenzie, who also is an EMPD member. However, advised that they were entitled to conduct the search without a warrant and that force could be employed if
necessary.
During the search, the officers discovered low-grade sugilite and manganese. 6 boxes of sugilite were seized with an estimated value of 14,926,412 rands. The members reported at West Bank that they were tracing a suspect of business robbery, whilst in their own statement they say that they investigating a suspect dealing in lithium. From the evidence obtained of this operation, in brackets, the photographs and CCTV footage, the only people identified are the EMPD officers. No one is identified as being from the Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department, JMPD. Neither Brigadier Kwanazu, who is their supervisor, nor the police officers involved have submitted evidence of a joint operation as these officers claim it was. The onus lies on them to produce evidence of a joint operation if there is any. The members stated that they seized the articles and handed them to JMPD officers. Once again, there is no proof that they booked any articles from the operation on the SAP 13 register. Indeed, they could not, as there is no case, as they claim by them registered by SAPS of such an investigation. It is proven that they abuse their powers by operating outside their jurisdiction, i.e. Ekurhuleni, and misled the Rosebank SAPS about the basis of conducting operation within Johannesburg. This amounts to misconduct by these EMPD members based on the fact that they were operating outside their jurisdiction without proof of the necessary authority.
Thank you. You have provided in the docket the photographs that you referred to at paragraph 61. You state there that from the evidence obtained of this operation, the photographs and CCTV footage, the only people identified are EMPD officers. Do you see that?
Yes.
Commissioners, for the record, we are going to put up the pictures. If the commissioners could make a note, you will recall when Chief Mapieye was testifying, he testified to a letter of demand received in respect of semi-precious stones by EMPD. I think that it's demanding a recovery of about 16 million, if memory serves me well. Attached to that letter of demand is a series of photographs, which unfortunately were in black and white. What we are about to put up, which comes from the docket, are the same photographs, except this time in color. So we would have to attend to your files. We had undertaken to provide better photos and substitute what you currently have at Annexure JM24 of MAPIA with the color photographs. If you could just make that note. So you have in your docket, Mr. Magagula, from page 344, a series of photographs. Annexure TLM3 at page 344.
Yes.
You have a series of photographs. And there are, I think on my count, 3 photographs from 344. So it will be 344, 345, and 346. That is the first photograph. I would like us to move to the second and the last photograph. On these photographs, you say the only people identified are the EMPD officers. You say that at paragraph 61. Do you confirm?
Yes.
From these photographs that are in the docket, are you able to say where those photographs were taken? Is it at the complainant's residence where the crime took place?
Yeah, it was.
Or the seizure of the semi-precious stones took place? Is that the complainant's residence?
Yeah, this is the complainant resident.
There are 3 photos. Are you able to identify any of the people appearing in these 3 photographs?
Yes.
Please do. Let's go back to the first one at 344.
The one with a red T-shirt is the victim.
Yes.
The one with a brown shirt with a gun in his waist is facing the other direction, is Etienne van der Walt.
Yes. And for the record, Etienne van der Walt is not an EMPD member.
Etienne van der Walt is not an EMPD member, is not a police officer.
Okay.
It is when we say there was someone who was impersonating a police officer, it is Etienne van der Walt.
Okay.
And Etienne van der Walt, we also found him in Pat Fontaine case. We also found Etienne van der Walt in the Brakpan murder case.
Yes. Then the other 2 people?
The lady seated down is Keisha Lee Stolz.
Yes.
The man standing there is Adrian Norman Mackenzie.
We'll just quickly go to 345 and see if there's still the same people you identified, except for the victim.
Yes.
And the last photograph at 346, it would appear like the victim is at the bottom left corner of the photograph, and the 3 other people, Van der Walt, Stolz, and Mackenzie, still around the table. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. You then say you obtained evidence of CCTV footage. You say so at paragraph 61?
Yes.
Can you inform the commissioners what you did with that footage?
I obtained the CCTV footage and I sent the footage to a forensic science laboratory in Pretoria to compile a photo album.
Before you proceed, commissioners, I note the report that referral and other documents are missing from our files, from the docket. If I may update your files, with the missing 4 pages that were supposed to be in the docket. Mr. Magagula's file will be equally updated, and then we can deal with these matters. As these are distributed, Mr. Magagula, do you have the extra pages you provided during lunch, numbered from 248.1? We propose to, they won't exactly be in order, commissioners, but so not to disrupt the numbering. We have taken, we have decided that perhaps they best belong after 248, which is okay. I'm trying to find the logic of why 248. 248 is the copy of occurrence book. And before we get into, so they would start TLM 3. So if we could just put them there, but as the evidence, as he continues, we will realize that they are not in their right place. For the moment, we will do so that they stay together, because they are updating the docket as we currently have it.
Yeah, because if they are 248.1, then they should be just before 249.
And it is because 249 was misfiled, if the chair remembers. That is the statement, commander statement from Mr. Mkwanazi.
The short Julius
yes,
Mkwanazi.
For the previous case.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you. This is exactly the reason I always say I will rely on you to stick with it.
just for the record, for the readers of the transcript, to know what happened and how other documents made their way into the files.
Just in case I missed it, were the precious stones ever found? Because I saw in your statement that the officers say they handed them over to JMPD. Were they ever found, the precious stones?
The part of it, small part of it, as we progress, we found them, and it will unfold when the SC is asking me some question, the bigger portion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have you found your, Mr. Magagula does have the new pages 248.1, the loose pages that you provided during lunch, yes. You had indicated that you then, still at 61, you sent the CCTV footage to the forensic laboratory.
Yes.
Please have regard to page 248.1, the loose pages you just received, to 248.2, and tell the commissioners what that document is.
This document is covering minutes about the summary of the incident, which I summarize and take the video footage to forensic to compile a forensic album.
And I see at
Sorry, isn't there discrepancy here? I thought the number was 14 million rands.
The witness has it as 14.9 million, yes.
No, it says on page 248.1, 14,000 rands.
Oh, on this, the document referring the
one you just gave us now, 248.1, at paragraph 1.
Yes, the commissioner is correct. It estimates the value at 14,000 rands in this document. Mr. Magagula, you understand? Look at this document. You see the second paragraph. The first is just a one-liner. See the paragraph that starts with the words, "It is alleged by the complainant."
Yes.
On the third line, and this document seems to have been generated by you, if you look at page 248.2,
Yes.
you state that the complainant says they seized his legal precious stones worth at the estimated value of 14,000 rand. You see that?
14,000 rands.
You see
Yeah,
what you
I
have
see
here.
it,
Now, if you go to your statement at paragraph 59, you provide an estimated value of 14,926,412 rands. Do you see that?
Yes.
The Commissioner Kumalo would like to understand, can you explain the discrepancy between the two figures?
Yes, I see this discrepancy. This it's a summary to the forensic for them to be able to know what was happening here. It is not the exact amount, it was estimation.
But do you acknowledge that there must be an error between the two figures, the one in the letter and the one in your statement? Which is the wrong figure?
14 million, Mr. Magagula, and 14 million rand and 14,000 rand.
Yes, it was an error. It was an error.
Which one is the
The error is in the letter.
in the letter?
In the letter.
And perhaps it might assist if we go to page 311 of the same file, 311. That is the statement of the complainant. And if one has regard to paragraph 4 of that statement by the complainant, it states, I quote, I previously stated that the value of the semi-precious sugarlite stones stolen from me are in the amount of approximately 14 million rand. I enclose herewith an invoice indicating the value of same marked PP1. Do you see that?
Yes.
So we accept from the complainant's version that the value is 14.9 million. Is that so?
Yes.
And that is, it's from the complainant's version that you obtained the value of the stones. You didn't undertake an exercise to evaluate them, did you?
He provided with invoice
So it's from the version of the
victim.
That's the only basis that you say it's 14 million. So you
Yes.
accept it. Thank you. So then if we go back to our page 248.1, the loose pages, you say there that you were forwarding to the laboratory at paragraph 3, kindly receive the following for analysis: 2x2 memory stick containing video footage of the incident, and then you provide the serial number. Then it states the video footage shows the incident that we are discussing. Correct?
Yes.
Where did you obtain this video footage from?
The video footage, if I may go to.
This is not iPad footage, is it? At least let's start there.
Yeah, the footage, I obtained it from Cap Security.
And who is Cap Security?
It's a security company based in Johannesburg, managing the area where the complainant resides. It is their video footage, not the complainant video footage.
Yes. And you request, I see, that the laboratory provide you with a photo album of the video footage saved on the memory stick. And the video footage will be filed in the case docket so that the senior public prosecutor can make an informed decision regarding this incident. Overleaf, you then give details of this case. One, the photographs of the VW Golf and its occupants in and out of the house. Two, the police officer talking to somebody in a car on the street. Three, photos of the victim and precious stones. And the numbered points you say are very important to the case. So that was your instruction.
Yes.
Did the laboratory provide you with such photographs?
Yes, they did provide me with such photograph.
I am going to refer us to page 254 of that same annexure in the file. And at 255 and following are pictures showing part of the streets and the parking area. Can you confirm what place this is? What are we looking at on the screen?
This is the place of residence of the victim and the street thereof.
And if you go to your paragraph 65, you state that Constable Mackenzie, one of the implicated police, filed a further statement on 15 January 2026 confirming the presence of Brigadier Mkhwanazi at the scene. The statement is part of the docket. Right? Were you able to determine where in these pictures you say Brigadier Mkhwanazi was, whose presence was confirmed by Constable Mackenzie?
In this picture, I cannot see. There was an interesting car which, upon receiving the photo album, I was interested in. It is not this picture.
Okay, we'll scroll. This appears to be the gate to what looks like a complex. We'll scroll to the next and the next. Then a series of photographs depicting the street.
Yes, these two vehicles.
Yes.
Is very, very important that are shown. The one with the one that is pointed with red, it's a Metropolis vehicle.
By Metropolis, you mean EMPD?
EMPD.
Oh, yes. Please continue.
The first one there is the one which I'm interested in for certain reason.
Okay, let's go to the next picture. There are two pictures here.
Is Adrian Norman Mackenzie there?
And he seems to be standing next to the car you said was the second car.
Yes.
In the previous picture. We'll scroll forward.
Now, this is the first car that I was interested in when I received the photo album, because that is not the vehicle that Mackenzie is using. And Mackenzie in this photo album is seen standing next to the driver's door of that vehicle. So my suspicion on that, it was that this precious stone that we are talking about, Mackenzie would have been giving that man the stones.
And if we scroll further on, I think it's a close-up picture of what we have seen, Mackenzie next to that car you say you're interested in.
Yes, so now you can see there was an individual inside because he is talking, he's leaning towards that vehicle.
Yes, and if we continue.
So this photo,
Make your point. Please go ahead.
This photo album is the one that interested to confront Mackenzie again to tell me exactly who is that person was inside the vehicle. So upon interviewing him, giving him an opportunity, because my narrative, it was that even if I'm giving him an opportunity, even if he doesn't give me the statement, I'm gonna file a negative report against him that the stone was taken by this person who you are seen standing next to this car. So he provided me a statement and informed me who was driving this car. So it was on the 15th when he told me that, no, this car doesn't belong to a criminal. It belongs to Julius Mkhwanazi, and the person who was inside the vehicle is Julius Mkhwanazi.
And then if you can go back to the loose pages that we handed in after lunch. You remember we looked at your request to the forensic laboratory we have marked 248.1. Then we have another document at 248.3. You see that? Do you see the document I'm referring to?
2.4?
248.3, at the top there, it's handwritten.
Yes.
What is that document? It's dated the 27th of August, 2025.
Okay, this was the results from forensic laboratory. This is covering minutes, giving me the results accompanying the photo album that they have compiled.
I note at item 2 of that page, it states a 212 statement and a photo album are attached as requested.
Yes.
You confirm. What we have on the screen, is that part of the photo album you received from the forensic laboratory?
Yes.
And if we stay on that and you go to the next page of the papers you were holding right now,
yeah.
It should be paginated 248.4 at the top right corner.
Yes, I have it.
I see it is dated 15 July 2026.
It's January.
15 January 2026. I'm 5 months ahead. Do you confirm?
Yes, I confirmed.
As a brief one, are you able to read into the record?
Yes.
Firstly, let's identify what this document is, and then you can read it into the record.
This is the additional statement of Norman Adrian Mackenzie regarding the photo album shown to him by me.
Now, can you read? It's got 4 paragraphs. Are you able to read them into the record?
Yes. On the 13th January 2026, Assistant Director Tulan Magagula from IPID presented me with a photo album of the case in Hillbrow for me to give a small description of what was going on. I went to a white motor vehicle that was occupied by 2 black males that came to the scene to check on us on the day in question. The driver was Director Julius Mkhwanazi, who is in the Ekurhuleni Metro Department and was also with a black male dressed in traffic uniform with a lot of ranks on his shoulders.
Have you been able to identify who this quote unquote black male dressed in traffic uniform with a lot of ranks on his shoulders? Have you been able to identify him yet?
No.
Okay. Now,
I'm sorry, Ms. Sello. After this statement, did you go back to Julius Mkhwanazi and obtain his statement to confirm his presence?
Yes, I did. Called him, informing him that that now I need a warning statement from him because the table has changed. It is no longer the 3 sentence of duty on, duty off. Now it is part of the suspect, so I must get a warning statement and on him in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution. At the time when I called him, he informed me it was towards the weekend that he need to consult his legal practitioner. He will come back to me. And indeed, at a later stage, he came back to me because I keep on calling him that it is important. I need this statement. It's crucial. At any given time, he can call me if he's available. I can drive wherever he is to go and obtain that statement. Unfortunately, he didn't tell me when he's free, but he wrote a statement, a small statement as usually, but the statement contained grammar errors. So on its way, it lost its meaning. And basically, that statement, I was not going to accept it because I must see him personally in order for him to sign my warning statement in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution. So it is not a question, even if you wrote a book and then you send it, the requirement is that he must sign. I must see him personally and I must inform him about his constitutional rights.
Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo. Please have regard to your paragraph 66 in your statement now. Your statement, page 16, paragraph 66.
Page?
Maybe before you do that, Ms.
Yes.
Silo, there's a reference to Rosebank SEPS at paragraph 63.
I was turning to that point.
Is that where
now,
you're going?
yes.
Okay.
We'll get back, we'll come back, where Commissioner Baloyi was asking about reference to Rosebank. We will get to that in a moment. I was referring you to your paragraph 66 and to ask you to confirm that the response you just gave to Commissioner Kumalo regarding what steps you have taken against General Brigadier Mkwanazi since obtaining the second statement from McKinsey, the one we've just read into the record, that you have set out your explanation at paragraph 66. Please look at it. Do you confirm?
Yes, I confirm.
Okay. I see there is an error in the date there. It has to be, because at line 3 it says, you contacted Brigadier Mkwanazi, who said he wants to confer with his lawyer. This after Brigadier Mkwanazi had submitted a statement on 5th February 2025, which I rejected. The year is wrong.
Yes, the year is wrong.
That was really my question.
2026.
So we should correct that to 2026.
Yes.
Thank
Because
you.
I had assumed that in 2025 a statement was obtained, and then Mackenzie gives his statement in 2026, and then...
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I'll just confirm that this is the statement that you say you received and rejected from Brigadier Mkwanazi. That was the first statement from him, was it? Or was it a second statement?
This one that I'm looking for, it is the second statement as per warning statement. The first one that I obtained from Brigadier Mkwanazi, it was the duty on, duty off statement of those members because his involvement was unknown at that stage.
Okay. I was going to then ask us to turn to the various statements that you have on file, and in the course of doing so, we will answer Commissioner Baloyi's question. At paragraph 63 of your statement, page 15, you note, it is proven that they, being the EMPD officers, abused their powers by operating outside their jurisdiction, i.e. Ikuruleni, and misled the Rosebank SAPS about the basis of conducting operations within Johannesburg. You see that?
Yes.
You have a series of statements. In particular, I would like us to start in Annexure TLM 3 from page 273. Now, at 273, if you can confirm, this is the warning statement of Adrian Norman Mackenzie. The actual statement starts at 277.
Yes, I
You
see
confirm?
it.
And you obtained, according to this document, this statement, if it is dated, do you have a date for when you obtained the statement?
For Mackenzie, yes, I
Mackenzie.
will. 2 May 2023.
And that is at page 280.
Yes,
I
280.
say it is certified on the 2nd of May by you, 2023.
Yes.
Before we get to the statement of Mackenzie, I would like us to go to the other statement, the next statement at 281, and that is the statement of Keshali Stolz.
Yes.
I would like us to start with the statement of Ms. Stolz because it sounds like, as we shall see from the statements, that she's the initiator of this operation insofar as Mr. Mackenzie is concerned.
Yes.
Is that your understanding as well? And Ms. Stolz's statement is at page 296.
Yes.
Correct. And I will just quickly note, at paragraph, she introduces her name and confirms that she's a white female employed by EMPD as a constable, and then states that she wishes to state as follows in English. In February 2023, I was on duty and in full uniform when I received a call from Mozo, a JMPD member who requested assistance in the recovery of lithium rocks that were suspected to being sold illegally by a suspect in Rosebank area. So, next paragraph, we went to Rosebank subs and informed them that we would be working in the area. We then went to the address of the person who was illegally dealing in lithium. Let me just go back to the first paragraph I read, where Ms. Stoll says she received a call from Mozo, a JMPD member who requested assistance. Have you been able to locate this JMPD member called Mozo?
In terms of the police, we have rank, we have surnames. So Stolz is giving me Muzo. I do not know the rank. I do not know if how many Muzos are there. So I believe it was she was sending me from pillar to post. She is the one who was working with that person. So she has to have full details of such person. So I do not know if this person exists or not there in Johannesburg.
And you stated in your statement that insofar as Mackenzie and Stolz were operating in Rosebank, it was outside their jurisdiction.
Yes.
Under what circumstances could they operate in Rosebank, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, they can operate in Johannesburg if they are invited officially in Johannesburg with accountability. For instance, if they are invited by Johannesburg, they will be led by the people of Johannesburg, not them leading themselves.
So then at paragraph 3 of that statement, when he says we, it's not clear who the we is, went to Rosebank subs and informed them that would be working in the area. From what you are saying, JMPD wouldn't have to do that because Rosebank is within JMPD jurisdiction. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are correct. If it was an official duties, indeed, they would have reported to JMPD. They don't need to report there at Rosebank, and then they are working under the leadership of Johannesburg. Accountability will go to Johannesburg that were with the members of EMPD.
And if we go then back, you remember we started with a second statement. The first statement starting at 273 is said to be the statement of Norman Mackenzie. The actual warning statement starts at 277. And are you at 277?
Yes, I'm there now.
That is the statement of Adrian Mackenzie. It says, I, Adrian Norman Mackenzie, employed at Ekurhuleni as a Metro Police officer, state the following. And at paragraph 2, and I quote, on the day in question, I was on duty in full uniform and equipment when Constable Stolz told me she got a call from a JMPD member who needed assistance with recovery of stones in Rosebank. 3, we went to SAPS in Rosebank to make a OB entry that we will work in the area, and we went to the suspect area in Rosebank. You confirm that?
Yes, I confirmed that.
And lastly then, if we go to page 299, and at 299 is a statement as well dated the 25th of May 2023 by a Mr. Malautsi, who states, I'm an adult male and provides a service number, holding the rank of warrant officer, working at number 15 Study Avenue, Rosebank, SAPS. On Saturday, 2023-02-11, at about 5:45 a.m., I reported on duty at CSC as a relief commander. Around 8:50 a.m. the same day, members of EMPD came to CSC and report on duty. They were wearing full uniform. It was a female and a male members. Their names are Constables Stolz and Constable Mackenzie. Then he indicates who they spoke to directly, Sergeant Mohali. At paragraph 3, he continues, they said they are reporting on duty for tracing suspect of business robbery that took place in Nigel. And they will be doing investigations around Rosebank area. You see that?
Yes, I see.
According then to Warrant Officer Malauti of Rosebank, when the two, as Mackenzie states, went to make the OB entry, they indicated that they were reporting for duty tracing suspects in connection with a robbery that took place in Nigel. But on Ms. Stoll's version, they were invited by the JMPD regarding illegal lithium trading in Rosebank. Is that how you understand the documents as well?
Yes, it's where they have problems.
What problems? Are you able to say more about the problems?
Acacia and Company.
Yes. What problems do you suggest they have?
They misled Warrant Officer Mlauzi that they are there to trace a suspect of business robbery in Niger, and they are doing investigation. To start with, they have no function of investigation.
And continue, please continue.
And there is no case to prove that they were doing legal duties of a case of Nigel. They have not told him about the case. That case is non-existent.
And then lastly, at page 292, it's an undated statement signed at the bottom against the name Etienne van der Walt.
It's
298.
Yes, I got it.
And on this document, this statement, it doesn't have a warning statement formal sheet in the docket. Did you obtain this statement from Mr. Van der Walt yourself?
Yes, I obtained the statement of Van der Walt.
I see it is undated. Do you have a recollection of when you'd have obtained it? Is it around the same time you obtained from Ms. Stolz and Mr. Mackenzie or later?
It was after Mackenzie and Stolz, and the reason for not obtaining the warning statement as required, it is because Mr. Etienne van der Walt refused and said, I'm not a suspect. I said, no, as per requirement, I tried to explain his right. He refused. So, as a suspect, I have given him the opportunity to write whatever he want to write in that statement, and he wrote what is contained in this.
Okay. Mr. Van der Walt states, I, Etienne Van der Walt, a white male, hereby wish to provide the following statement. On the date in question, February 2023, I, as with Constable Stolz and Constable Mackenzie, or I think I was with Constable Stolz and Constable Mackenzie, as we were going to go do patrols for truck that had been stolen or used in theft trailers. Do you see what I'm reading?
Yeah.
Second paragraph. He continues, we were en route to our first truck stop when Constable Stolz received a call. Constable Stolz informed me that a JMPD officer had requested assistance in Rosebank, and I asked if I could accompany them quickly, and then we would continue to do the patrols of the truck stops when we were done. We met, next paragraph, we met with the JMPD officer who informed Constable Stolz and Constable Mackenzie of the help she needed. So, was it your understanding that the JMPD member was a female? Because that's what this would suggest.
Yes.
Okay. We then proceeded to Rosebank Subs, where I stayed in the vehicle. I take it that's when they went to register in their presence in the OB register, perhaps?
Yes.
We can skip the next paragraph. The one after states, I stayed in the lounge area, this is after entering the victim's premises, talking to the girlfriend of the white male. By then they had entered the flat. And if we skip that to the next paragraph, he states, Constable Stolz and Constable Mackenzie came into the lounge after putting brown boxes on the floor in the entrance hall. And if we then go to the next, second line, we met with the JMPD after, and Constable Stolz and Constable Mackenzie handed the JMPD officer the sub-seizure form and rocks. We then left to follow up on the information in Bredel. You see that?
Yes, I see.
So from Mr. Van der Walt's statement, it would appear that Constable Mackenzie handed the rocks over to a JMPD officer, wherever that person was.
Yes.
And your testimony is that those rocks, as Mackenzie has confirmed, were handed over to the person in the white vehicle on the street.
He never confirmed that. He confirmed that in the latest statement, the additional statement.
Yes.
He identified the person. Those people were inside the white vehicle. He never spoke about the rocks.
So he still maintains that the rocks was given to the JMPD officer?
No. I don't believe their version.
No, on his version. I'm happy to go with his version. What's his version? What happened? What became of the rocks, according to Constable Mackenzie?
According to Constable Mackenzie's statement, is that they given the JMPD.
This still the unidentified JMPD member?
Yes, unidentified.
To check with Commissioner Baloy, I don't know if that answers your Rosebank question.
Yes,
reference.
it does, Mr.
Thank
It does.
In the CCTV footage that you have viewed, do you see any JMPD vehicles or any JMPD officers?
No.
And I see that we did discuss this, that now you are waiting to obtain a warning statement from Brigadier Mkonazi. What's the next step thereafter?
After obtaining a Brigadier Zilas Mkonazi's statement, depending on what he's gonna say, if indeed, I don't believe that there was a Gauteng traffic with a lot of ranks, but if indeed he write that he was with his friend, I will ask the rank, he will know better, because Mackenzie doesn't know those rank. He's the one who will know it is his counterpart. He will tell me that I was with this person. So it means that the same person I must obtain his warning statement is also part of that illegal operation. And then after that, I take the docket to the Director of Public Prosecution for decision. And then if they say Chaile, and then I go and arrest them. It will depend on the decision of the public prosecutor. If they see that there is some work that I must do, I have to comply with what I have not yet, I didn't see they are looking at that Makakula, you have not yet finalized your matter. Please go and do 1, 2, 3, 4. But if the Director of Public Prosecution is satisfied, they will issue a directive. These people must be charged with these following counts.